Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 646th session of our Empowering Morning Conversations. All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. And we come here every morning to ensure that all of life comes to us with ease and joy and with glory. We want to be in a situation where every experience is an opportunity to become a better version of ourselves. We want to shift out of the default mode where we are complaining and cribbing and resisting and reacting. And we want to get into a mode where we are creating a life that we desire. So today's session is about desires. Okay. And before I launch into what I may want to say about desires, I'd like to hear from some of you about desires. Okay. Whatever comes to your mind with regard to desires, I'd like you to talk about it. So let's start with Vetrivel. Vetrivel, say something about desires.
A kind of a mental longing where I feel like having physically, mentally.
So can you say that again? I did not understand what you're saying.
It's kind of a mental longing, sir, that I want to have that experience or a thing.
Mental longing. All right.
Longing, yes.
Okay, very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Then what about you, Reddy Garu? What is desire? I mean, say something about desires.
Desire is to have something which I wish in my life.
Yeah, so good, great. Everybody is saying what is desire, but you want to say anything more about the desires?
Yeah, I have a lot of desires in my life yet to be fulfilled.
Okay, very nice. Thank you very much. Yes, Neeti ji, say something about desires.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Desires work as catalysts. They take us leaps and bounds further on a journey.
Okay, desires are catalysts. Okay, so you're also going to tell us what are desires. Anything else you want to say about desires?
So they have a very far-reaching impact on us before the journey of achieving your desire and the achievement beyond the desire, the entire process before, during, and post the desired achievement. The whole thing takes us miles ahead because it is very close to something that that means a lot to us, that has a lot of importance in our life, and that is very needful to our existence.
Okay, that's nice. All right, who else? Rashmi, what do you have to say about desires?
Desires are something that we wish to have very strongly in our lives, and which is what keeps us going from one day to the next. Because and you desire to have a cup of tea, so you go towards it. You desire to reach a certain place in life, so you plan for it, etc.
All right, good, sounds interesting. Rama, say something about desires. Okay, Gurunandan can say. Whoever wants to say can say. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Gurunandan.
So for me, desires are emotions. Desires are emotions that emotions of wanting something, emotions of possessing something.
And anything else about desires? So fine. By now, I think everybody has established what are desires, that we understand. But there's a lot more to it than that, right? You, with regard to your desires, there's so much to it, isn't it? We know what desires are. Sometimes people know what they desire. Sometimes they don't know. Yes, Kunan. Say something about desires. Please note, I'm not saying tell us what is desire. I'm saying say something about desires.
Yeah, very good morning, sir, and all. For me, desires are basically the creation of our mind, or my mind, by imagining something which is not currently available in my current state. And my mind takes me to somewhere else by imagining and being in a state which, with the impression that a state will give more pleasure. But in my opinion, with this body, in this space,
बॉडी और स्पेस पे आ गया ये भाई बड़ा तगड़ा से खाया
all the imagination, all the desires cannot be fulfilled.
Okay, so that's your point of view. All the desires cannot be fulfilled. Got it. Thank you very much. Yes, Gautam Madraji.
Yes, desires is what my personally, I feel it is a two type. It is a long term and short term. And it is so many things. It is not only one, two like that. And it also varies for person to person.
Okay.
Somebody is desire for the money, somebody is happiness, like that.
All right.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. Everybody's still saying what are desires? Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about desires? I mean, you can talk about your desires. You can talk about why their desires are not getting fulfilled. You can talk about the miracles that your desires have created in your life, or you can talk about all the beliefs that we have with regard to desires. There's so much connected with it, no? We will even have some judgments connected with our desires. Yes, Rashmi ji.
If I may just talk about a little bit on Buddhism and how, you know, the desire is, so they say earthly desires are a way to enlightenment. So it's a very interesting concept. Like typically, you know, one would say that to reach enlightenment, let go of your desires, lead a aesthetic life, and, you know, but I read in one of the books that I was reading that earthly desires are a way to enlightenment.
Yeah, that's why we were put on planet Earth, I suppose, to experience earthly desires.
Yes. So only if we are able to see and go through these desires, I think it opens up a bigger potential for us to be and to do. Not in negation of the desires, but to allow them to, you know, to be aired, to be seen, to be worked on or not, etc.
Okay, sounds nice. All right. So one question to everybody is that we've had desires, and there's even a point of time in your life, I don't know about you, but in my life, I stopped desiring only. There's no point desiring, they're not going to happen. So don't desire. And I went through a period of almost 8 or 9 years, no desires. But is it absolutely correct to say that there were no desires? They were survival desires. In fact, I would never even dare to use the word desire because I thought desire is a bad word. You know, the word desire in my mind always was associated with desires, you know. You can imagine what type of desires. Most of the time I was only talking about wants. And as the word might imply, I don't have, so I want. Want means lack, right? Nahi hai mere paas, isliye hona chahiye. So if you go and look back to our very relationship with desires, okay? So you'll have to do a little bit of a deep dive there. So now here in the EMC, at least it's become a fashion not to say want or need. So we will say desire. But whenever you use the word, that word you are using is desire, but are you still thinking about it as something which you don't have and you should have it? So we're not going to be in a big hurry to cover this topic. We'll do it step by step, even if it takes us 3 sessions to do it. So don't be in a hurry here. Because the moment you talk about desires, the first thought comes in everybody's mind, okay, tell me how to fulfill my desires. Which we will, that's why it's called fulfilling your desires. But let's first figure out what is it, that what kind of a relationship we have with desires. I mean, what are we doing with it? So just reflect on it. So in the meantime, I'd like to do a little clearing with you. What energy, space, and consciousness will I have to be, or what energy, space, and consciousness will I be that would allow me to dare to have desires? And anything that stops me from doing that, am I willing to destroy and uncreate it all? Am I? Yes, okay, very good. Right and wrong, good and
Yes.
bad, good and talk, all 9 shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. What energy, space, and consciousness can I be that would allow me to bring to the surface all the desires that I have never allowed myself to experience? And anything that is times a godzillion stopping me from doing that, will I destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, put and pop, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyonds. So what is coming to your mind right now after these 2 clearings? Yes, Rashmi.
So Deepakji, can you just explain a little bit of what you just did? I
No,
don't get it.
you don't have to get it. Just be in the process. These are clearings, these are questions which open up awareness. That much I can tell you. All right. And maybe I'll do a separate session. See, the thing is, when we do this clearing, you are letting go of certain things that has been holding you back. That's why they are called clearings. Don't worry, don't try to understand it. So what energy, space, and consciousness will you be that would allow you to express your desires, and anything that stops you from doing that, are you willing to destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Yes. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, all 9 shorts, boys, poads, and beyonds. Now, if you want to understand the clearing statement, that is a separate session, or I can tell you a website where you can go and understand what that means. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, all 9 shorts, boys, poads, and beyonds. It's like a magic mantra. Right? But there's a whole explanation to it. I will send you a link. You can look at that. So what's opening up for you now? What's coming to your mind now? Guru Nandan, you wanted to say something. You can say it now. Yes, very well.
Sir, amazing. Thank you for the clearing. One sarcastic, naughty smile comes when I hear all desires come to surface. Is it okay, or desires can come up?
See, what I want us to look at is that how many of our desires we have suppressed. Because we were so much conditioned by people, by society, by others, that this is what you should want. We've been driven by shoulds, not our desires. How many shoulds you have been listening to? in your life? You should do like this, you should do like that, you should do like that, you should be doing this kind of a job, you should do this because there is more scope in it. So if you really had your own desires at some point of time, they might have got sublimated with, all this stuff that we've been getting bombarded with, so much so that at some point we even lost. Of late, so many things are surfacing for me where I'm beginning to realize that what I really desired was to be an inventor. Two things I really desired, which I had sublimated, sort of suppressed. One was being an inventor. The other one was someone who can heal people. So not even in that sense healing, that my thought used to be as a child that, there's so much, people are suffering so much. My thought used to be people are so busy making each other miserable. But every morning they are doing prayers and bhajan and going to the temple and all. And I said, then why are they making each other miserable? At any chance they get, they are making. So this was my desire, but I never was allowed to even, I was afraid to even express it. They'll say you're mad. So I want you to look into that your desire. See, there are a few lucky people like Reddy Garu who very soon in life, early in life, as soon as he came out of his college, he has a desire to start an industry and he started that. Okay. There also, I don't know whether it was the shoulds which were put in his head that that is the right thing you should do or whatever. That's okay. But he had a desire and he went for it. Right? But before we get into even desires, let's look at how many of our desires we were suppressed, how much we were discouraged from even thinking about our so-called desire. Now, I'm not only talking about carnal desires, Vetrivel. Carnal desires, the one which brings a sarcastic smile on your face. I'm not talking about those. But mostly we are associating the word desire with that only, isn't it? Like desiring anything, not okay, do your job. So I want us all to look into that and say something which you might be realizing. Okay, now anybody wants to say anything, ask anything, share anything? Yes, Reddy Garu.
Sir, I have a very strong desire to mentor young people.
Beautiful. And since when have you had this desire?
I have for a long time, sir.
Right. So you have had a desire for a long time, but did you do anything about it?
Whenever I interact, come with young people, I always do that. But I'm not in like a professional way. Whenever I get the opportunity, I always do that.
Imagine you have 20 people who are being mentored by you, and they are your core team in your company. And through them, you are making your company multiplying by 100 times. Interesting, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So you can marry your desire, one desire along with another. You have another desire, no?
Yes,
To
sir.
make your company more systematic, process driven and all.
Yes, sir.
So both desires can be, so we'll go into it. Good. Thank you for sharing your desire. Thank you so much. Yes, Priya.
So my desire, a lot of desires. One is to train or not counsel, just I don't know how to say it. What I want to say is, when I talk about my desires to my family or people around, they say, to make ideal dunya ki khoj mein ho, which doesn't exist and it is not going to exist. And then I think, why are they saying like that? Like, ऐसे क्यों सोच रहे हैं कि ऐसा नहीं हो सकता? Like, जिनके साथ मैं अभी सुबह बात कर रही हूँ, वो तो ऐसे सोचते कि चीजें हो रही है, या वो यही है उस 1 घंटे में हम बात करें कि वो चीज हो रही है, या वो एक्चुअली एग्जिस्ट कर रही है आउटसाइड दिस conversation also. So this is the question I dwell on.
But they are
But
existing. And if you see, you will be getting a lot of this kind of news ke kaun kya kya kar raha hai. And then we look at them and say, oh my God, I should have also done like that. You know, there are people who are doing it. ऐसा नहीं है. But I agree with you. मेरे साथ भी यही होता था कि तुम अपना काम करो, बड़ी बड़ी बातें छोड़ो. You know?
yes, like, and when I listen this from, my parents, it's very hard to hear. ये भी नहीं विश्वास कर रही क्या?
देखो, yeah, please be very clear on one thing. We have to show people some evidence also, ना. बोल तो रहे हो, कुछ करते हो क्या?
हाँ, मेरी बातें करने के तरीके में I have made lot of changes the way I speak to my papa now. It has changed a lot. Like I can see that for me.
Yeah.
Can't see that.
Sometimes
can't
they
see
are
that.
they are the last people to see it, no? Because एक
मैं ऊपर
perception
चली
बनी है.
जाऊंगी तब तक.
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. All right, very nice. Thank you very much for sharing. Yes, Rashmi ji.
I actually had a question. How would you distinguish between goals and desires?
Well, you have a desire, you convert it into a goal so that you can fulfill it, no? See, desire is like a vision, I'll say. This is what I desire. Then obviously the question will arise that how you be very clear about it, no? Specific, measurable, achievable, rational, tangible, and then you go for it. So somebody may say, I desire a better world. Next question will come, okay, what does a better world look like? So what are you going to do to make it a better world? So those would be the goals, no? If I make 5 hospitals and 10 schools and I have 500 volunteers working for the poor. So that's your definition, which way you want to fulfill your desire, right?
Okay.
So they are not opposed to one another. They work together. See, one of the things which probably you missed what I said a little while ago is that how many of our desires are desires coming out of creating something in our life, and how many are coming out of our shoulds? You know, should, I am poor, so I should be rich. Nothing wrong with that also, by the way. Most of your goals are likely to be connected with your desires, but maybe not all of them. Yeah. Does it give you some answer, Rashmi?
Yes, most definitely.
All right, very nice. Thank you very much, Guru Nandan ji.
Okay, sir. Firstly, though, I want to apologize for, judgmental thoughts and all that. That is also one desire to overcome and improve. But then there are a lot of...
Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Judgmental thoughts, apologize for that. What?
Lot of times, when we hear something and, we have some thoughts onto it, which are, अपना दूसरे के चश्मे की जगह अपने चश्मे से देखना, right? So that is I'm talking about, right? Okay. So we have a lot of desires like materialistic desires, emotional desires, spiritual desires, self-growth desires. We have 60,000 thoughts every day, out of which most of them are desires, right? And a lot of times, like I share one of mine, which I'm carrying from my childhood. I wanted to be a car racer in my life, right? But my parents, my father specifically, was very against it. And I was very hell-bent doing that. But my father was no, because he thought that there's a lot of risk of life in going for a car racing, right? But probably that is the reason I have driven more than 14 lakh kilometers in my life till now. And wow. I'm having 11th car which I have bought in my life, right? So the point is that I kept living that desire in my life. And that's the reason I'm very famous कि मैं बहुत fast चलाता हूँ, बहुत ऐसा चलाता हूँ, right? So probably, then I thought that when I will have children, I will not say no to them what they want to do, which should be morally right. If there is anything, I will not stop them, right? So so there are many desires. Even after coming to AMC, I've started realizing self-growth or cleaning ourselves is also a desire now, right? Which normally we think about materialistic desire, but there are emotional desires. My daughter should do this. My wife should be healthy. I should be. These are some non-materialistic but emotional desires also. My mother should be healthy. So after coming to AMC, things are getting very clear, because normally we only think about materialistic desires, right? Or we are conscious about them, but rather all desires are in subconscious mind as well.
Yeah. By the way, I'm very happy to inform you that one of our EMC members, his name is Kasa Sai, or Sai Kasa, and he has been a car racer. Okay, and he has won it also.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've traveled in a car with him. My good God, he's a very good driver, but whatever.
Wow.
But he drives like crazy.
I would love to sit with him.
Yeah. So he had a desire. He had a desire to act in movies. So he acted in 2 movies, that 2 Mani Ratnam movies.
Wow. Now I
have
have a desire to sit with him in his car.
You can, if you go to Salem or Bangalore or Chennai or UK, wherever he happens to be now.
Great.
Another gentleman we have here by the name of Ramamurthy. He has been to Everest Base Camp 2 times, among other things. He made a long list of desires and he's fulfilled most of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So see, one thing, okay, now this has come out before I wanted it to. It's very clear that if you have a desire, the universe allows you to fulfill it. So like Guru Nandan, when my children were born, I was very clear that I will encourage them to go for their dreams and desires and to do whatever they chose to do. And they did it. 2 of my sons chose professions which were not, people used to say, "Arey, ye kya hai? Tum apne bachon ko allow kar rahe ho." But they went and did very good. I mean, Gaurav is a famous DJ. He plays all over the world, right? He plays for most of the celebrities, goes and plays on the Eiffel Tower, and you name it. And does he make money? Oh my God, tons of it. But people frightened the death out of me. Arey, what are you doing? Tumhare bachche bigad jayenge, they'll go bad. They will amount to nothing. So it's a good idea to encourage them as long as, but it takes a lot of guts to do that also, right? So let's look a little bit more at our own relationship with desires. And how many of our desires we have. See, Shanti ji wants to say something. Let's listen to her first. Yes, Shanti ji.
Good morning, sir, and good morning, everyone. Desire is a feeling. It's visible, invisible. You alone can understand. But goals are actions. It's visible. The result is visible. Somebody may be very, but they don't. They are not happy inside. But somebody may be poor, but they are happy inside. The desire is the fulcrum around which this happiness comes.
Very good. Thank you very much. So let's look at our own selves, right? Why is this topic of desires interesting for you, by the way? Is this topic of any interest to you, first of all? If it is of interest to you, raise your hand. The virtual one, huh? Yeah. So out of 18 people or 17 people, 5 people raise their hand. Very good. It's of interest to you. Very nice. What about other people? It's not of any interest to you? 6 people raise their hands. Wow. 6 people out of 17 are interested in it. Now 8 people are saying they're interested in it. Fantastic.
So it's making me a little nervous.
What is making you nervous?
Just suddenly the word desire, and I don't know what all is opening in my mind. It is like you've just pushed me into a totally new world. I'm in a very discomfort zone at the moment.
Interesting that we are in a come on, man. Only 8 people are interested in the topic of desires. So 50% people are interested in desires. 50% are not interested. Wow. Oh, now 10 people out of 18 are interested in desires. Fantastic. Dr. Hiral is also interested in it. Very nice. What about the 7 other people? The 8th is myself. I'm interested in desires. So that makes it 11 participants. So 6 are still not. They don't know how to raise their hand maybe. Okay, so now I'll ask you another question. You can put your hands down now. Thank you very much for showing your interest. Now, next question is, why are you interested in desires? Why are you interested in the topic of desires? Anybody who wants to speak about it, please do. Yes,
Yeah.
Dr. Hiran. Acha. Suresh wants to speak about that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Suresh.
Desires are unlimited, and it gives you, what you wish to have is different. What you deserve is different.
Okay,
You
very
deserve
nice.
every desire.
Okay,
You
very
deserve
good.
yeah. But
Now tell me
how
one
much?
thing, Suresh.
Yeah.
Just now you said something, correct? You just said something, yes or no?
Yes, I said.
Okay, so that was an answer to which question?
The question desires, about desires.
What was the question I asked? I'm just checking whether my sound is reaching you or not. Hello, Suresh Garu. What
Yes,
happened?
yes. No, I did not recollect the
Exactly.
question.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in a conversation, it's good to listen to the question and then answer. But anyway,
Yes,
what you said is also very useful. Thank you very much for saying that. My question is this, that so many people have said that, yes, we are interested in desire. So my question is, why are you interested in this topic? So some people, while you are thinking about the answer, let us listen to what Priya has to say and then Major Narayanan. Okay, Priya ji, go ahead.
So desires, they make me feel alive, that okay, I'm alive. There are a lot more things to achieve.
All right.
There's my purpose to be fulfilled.
Okay, so
I have
that
to
is why
have
you are
that.
interested in this topic of desire.
Yes, there's something interesting going on there.
And what specifically would you be interested in? Because everybody knows that desires are required and we have desires. वो तुमको पता है?
So I'm interested in building my own career right now. Like this is the biggest desire.
That is your desire, to build your career right
Yes.
now. Okay.
And having a great relationship within my family.
Okay, wonderful. And by the way, how do you expect this discussion over here for the next 2 days? I can promise you. How do you expect this to help you?
I can start working on my own, a little small business thing. This is
Okay.
one.
Okay. Or let me ask this
And-
question slightly differently to you, Priyaji. How are you
Hanji.
going to use this forum to help you?
So you have asked me to do certain things. I'm gonna do that in next 2 days.
Okay. Congratulations.
I am going to do that.
Okay.
I'm promising that.
All right. Okay. Yes, Major sir.
So good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir.
Sir, desire is the starting point for any achievement.
Okay.
And a small desire achieves nothing, but a burning desire that always propels a person to achieve. And all invention discoveries are great achievements. They're all startling examples of what a person who's been consumed by a desire can do. So desire is very, very important. And one should be master of their desires. The more the person is able to give his heart and soul to it, achievement is.
All right. Thank you for sharing. But what question are you answering with these statements that you just made?
You said desire, sir. So I felt that it should be the burning desire, which is the starting point for all achievement.
The question I asked, I don't know if you heard it or you did not. I said that if you are interested in this topic, why are you interested in this topic? That is the question I asked.
Yes, sir. I am answering that, sir. Because I understand this topic, because desire helps us to achieve. I think that's for me.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you so much. Yes, Rashmi ji, and then after that, Ashok ji, and then Kasha ji. Kasha is the race car driver, Guru Nandan.
Let's hear from Ashok ji first.
Okay, as you wish.
Okay. See, I understand this question little differently. Why are desires important?
No, that's not the question I asked, first of all. But you can say what you want to say. Never mind.
Desires are like an engine, driving force, which makes us thrive, which makes us ambitious, which gives us the strength, which mental as well as physical. So just like a pran, desire is a part of our life. Even let's say taking a bath, maybe momentarily, but that is a desire that I should be clean, I should take a bath.
Yeah.
So everything that mind decides to be done in next time, next half an hour or 1 hour or 2 hours, are desires.
Yep.
There could be short-term desire, long-term desire, achievable desire, etc. But desire is the driving force, like an engine. That is what makes me, with a short-term, long-term, and medium-term goals or desires or ambitions, you can say.
Right. And that is why we are all interested in desire, the topic of desire.
That is why we are interested in desire.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ashok ji, for sharing that. And now let's listen to Rashmi and then Kasha.
Deepak ji, I think it's very interesting that what you said about the desires arising out of shoulds and the desires arising. So the question is that why are desires interesting to me is because I feel that it creates a higher level of awareness. And I'm actually now looking and questioning on all my should desires and all my creative, something that I want to create, and also looking at how that is related to even my level of awareness. That sometimes I feel like I'm so into what I should be doing that I lose touch with what I really want to do or what is really my desire. And it's opened up a much bigger playground, and it's opening a feeling of expansion, which is, it's like really I was in a circle and I'm now like stepping out of that circle.
A very powerful thing that Rashmi has just said, that see, when you have a particular, your desire is one thing and what you are actually doing is something else because of your shoulds. Do you think that both things will not completely manifest? There'll be a struggle, right? There's a dissonance. Your heart desires something and your mind says, I should have this. So you're going after what your mind asks you to do, but your heart says, I desire X. If they both are together, we'll be achieving things much faster, right? Otherwise, we are only causing dissonance in our mind, right? Putting impediments in our path. So that's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Kasha Sai, how are you and where are you now?
In Manchester, sir.
Okay. So there's one gentleman by the name of Guru Nandan Singh. All his life, he desired to be a race car driver. So I told him about you. He says, I want to meet with him and spend time with him. I said, you'll have to go to England for that.
Well, I got trained with Rob Wilson. Rob Wilson, 60% of the drivers in Formula One has been trained by Rob Wilson. So I had a training, I have been trained by Rob Wilson, and I have coached a couple of people in racing as well, sir.
Okay. So Guru Nandan, you can still fulfill your desire if you want to.
Yes, sir. And we have the race cars as well. We can fulfill the desires. So why? I'll finish the question. And why I choose my desire is because when I live my dream and desire, there is, the me cause is there. The B cause is not there. And, that gives a lot of freedom and, powerful state, simple, like, you desire to eat idli, but someone says only there is dosa. From simple choices, when you fulfill each and every desires and dreams of yours, you feel such powerful. I have multiple dreams and, multiple aspects, and, while working on something comes up our way, acknowledge it, do it, and, be that, be that infinite being as you are.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing that. Very powerful sharing. But the question was, why are we interested in this topic of desires? So were you answering that question? Even though your sharing was very powerful and useful, no doubt.
No, so why we are choosing desire is...
No, that's not the question. Why are we choosing desire? Question is, why are we interested in the topic of desire?
Why we are interested in the topic
that was the question. Yeah.
When we fulfill our desire, we feel more freedom, is my perspective, sir.
Okay, so that's why we are interested in the topic of desire. To be discussed over here today.
I think that the inner self is looking for, and when we acknowledge, when we reach that, we feel powerful, right, sir? Something that something I desired for, I have achieved. Oh, good. That makes me powerful. That makes me a wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary being.
That you already are.
Thank you, sir. And making still more extraordinary, and the credit goes to you.
Don't worry about that. See, the important thing. All right, Shantiji. Thank you, Kasa.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, it is about self-actualization. In Maslow's theory of hierarchy of needs, everybody has self-actualization.
Desires.
Yes,
self-actualization.
Self-actualization is the desire for every soul. So the soul has come to the earth to find a way of liberation. And this self-actualization helps the soul to liberate itself. Okay. And it is, as of now, it is attached to our desires.
Okay, so that is why you are interested in the topic. By the way, everyone, I am very much interested in the topic of listening and checking how people listen. So I'm always checking to see how you all are listening. It's interesting that I ask one question, but I get answer to something else. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yes, Gautamji. Yes, sir. Gautam, I'm waiting for you to talk here. Hello? Where is he?
He's on mute. He's on mute.
Yeah, you have to unmute yourself, na, Gautam. I have not muted you.
Yes. Think it's like that desire, what I believe and I am interested, because it changed. Like Mr. Kasa was telling, that is one after getting the achievement, the new desire it comes. So I'm interested. And you told that is a right word, that is desires make people want and desire difference. I'm learning how to control desire and what is the difference between my want, goal, and desire. Thank you.
All right. So now what? So, I wanted to do a little bit of disruption in your mind with regard to this whole topic of desires. Two things, my observation. We have given up desiring sometimes back. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can look into it. When was the last time you really desired something wholeheartedly? And whatever we are doing now, is it something we really desire, or it's something which we must have because people say so, because society expects it, because my family expects it? Your own desires.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy, we have many people here, they are fulfilling their own desires also. Yes, Rama, here is a man, Rama, who has fulfilled a lot of his desires, I can tell you that. If you look at his list, you will be feeling shamed of yourself. You look at this man, how much he has done in his life. Amazing gentleman. I'm so happy to have him as my friend.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So I'm here, I'm interested in this topic of desire because that is something like kind of hidden. It is not really very clear. So at some point in time, I used to have confusion between emotion and thoughts. So which is thought, which is emotion? So I was not sure at all. So it is confusing because people, when you get emotion, people say, no, don't get emotion now. And then we suppress it. So similarly, the desire is like that, you wanted something, but you have been always told, no, don't do this, do something else. So the desire is invariably suppressed, and we have been always focusing on wants and expectations. So hence the interest in desire, to understand what is the real, what is the desire all about, and how do we manage between desire, expectation, and wants. So that's my interest, sir.
Great. Thank you very much. Yes, Rashmi ji.
Okay.
So Deepak ji, I wanted to share something I read recently. I don't know if how many in the group have heard of the sociologist Eric Fromm. And in his one of his books, he mentions the phenomena of suppressed desires and how they manifest anyways through malfunctioning outputs. Like it could show up in a form of anger, it could show up in a form of resentment, it could show up in a form of even bodily pains, like neck, pain in your shoulder, pain in your neck, etc. So, and that is why I'm very, very interested to, unfold this topic. So thank you for that.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Yes, Kasha, you want to say something?
Wanted to share, one of the feedback, from my father, even though from movies I came to business and, things were going well and all that, but, he was very happy when I was living my dreams and desires, especially when I was racing and all that. He used to tell that I'm so happy that you're living your dreams and desire. So just the sharing, I just wanted to share. Thank you.
All right, very nice. So one other person had raised his hand and he lowered it, so I do not know who it was. Yes, Dr. Hiral.
So I wanted people to know from this platform about desire is, as per Access, as we know, all the desires doesn't belong to us. So we should be very careful in desires also, that from where we are choosing it, whether that belongs to us or just because we heard from somebody or seen somewhere and just, expecting that to happen. So I want people to know about this point. through this platform. Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much, Hiralji. See, one
Sir,
is in all the other people's desires which we are picking up energetically. That's what Dr. Hiral is talking about. And the other is all the indoctrination that we have received. You know the word indoctrination? Kya hota hai? What is indoctrination? Can anybody tell us?
Like conditioning, sir.
Conditioning. Anybody else? What is indoctrination? And who is indoctrinating us?
The society, the family.
Right? So a lot of our so-called desires are not our own. They have been planted into us. Okay, so we'll get into that. I mean, we are not saying even those are desires. You can have them if you want to. Nobody says don't have. You can have anything and everything that you desire. All right. What we are doing here, at least in today's session, is shake up your thinking with regard to desires. Okay. Desire is something that it is there and it is not there. At least I know that there was a period of my life when I just stopped desiring anything. Okay, because I'd fulfilled one of my biggest desires in life, which I always wanted. You know, that desire jisko bolte na koi hota jisko hum apna keh lete yaro paas nahi to. That desire got fulfilled. And then big disappointment also came along with it. Right? Then I said, oh shit, I'm not going to desire anything. Now I have to only survive. Jeena yahan, marna yahan, that kind of a thing. And then I got a revival in my life and I again started desiring. Okay. And then I came to a point in my life when I was around 60 something years old. I'd actually fulfilled all my desires actually. And then I was thinking, okay, now what? I mean, what is the reason for me to be alive now? See, as long as I had desires and I was chasing those dreams of mine, fulfilling my vision, achieving things, it was a real reason to be alive and kicking and doing and, you know, performing and whatever. And now what? Am I only waiting to die? Everything has been fulfilled. Am I waiting to die? And then access came along. So I recreated myself. So I have added more desires. I mean, nobody told me I can't. So one thing for sure is there. You have desires. There's a possibility of disappointment also. Yeah, if you have desires, there may be some blockages also. Should I stop desiring? Like we have people here who are very elderly, they have done everything in their life. And is it now, so now you don't have to desire anything? Now you can't achieve anything? Like today, very nice thing, our good friend Reddy Karu has said that, listen, I've always desired to mentor young people and I'm mentoring them. Right? In that direction, he can open up so many things. So we're going to look today and a couple of more sessions more deeply into desires, right? Why, if we are stopping ourselves, why are we stopping ourselves? If we have a desire, what are we doing to actualize that desire? If you have a desire, what is blocking you from fulfilling it? I've been looking at why we get stopped in our life. Ever since we started that program called Get What You Want, very important to know that why something comes up to stop us, and then how do we deal with what is stopping us, right? Why are we getting blocked? We have people here, they're looking for a job, they're not getting it. They're getting pushed around by people, etc., etc. So it's all connected with somewhere my desire is there for something, is not getting fulfilled also. So we want to look at the entire gamut of this thing, the thing called desires, all right? So we've just started, and I want you to actually start thinking more on this topic. What's your relationship with desires? Very interesting thing. I can only talk about myself right now. I used to think, okay, this kind of desire, easy for me to manifest. But if it comes to anything to do with money, it's very difficult for me to manifest. That was a kind of a thing. Another thing that came up for me was, as long as I'm doing it alone, I can do it very well. But if I have to involve people, make a team and all that, wo mere bas ki nahi hai. क्यों नहीं है भाई तेरे बस की? Because I have done it in the past, it didn't work out, so it won't work out. Yeah, so look at this entire thing. See, Hasina ji, you're looking so nice in your portrait, no? So anything you want to add to this conversation today, Hasina ji? You haven't spoken for a long time.
At this juncture, I feel what are the things that I can desire? I all like to travel, and I want to do that till I am mobile. This is one big desire of mine.
Mm-hmm. The second desire is to stay mobile also, no?
Yes, very much.
You know, my grandmother, she used to always say, now I'm talking about the year 1987 or 88 or something like that. And she was very fond of doing things in the house, right? And in winter also, she would be washing. I mean, there are servants in the house, but she would insist on washing the utensils herself. So I used to tell her, we used to call her Paboji. She used to say, Paboji, why are you doing this? Or she used to say, कि जब तक मेरे हाथ पैर चलते रहेंगे ना, as long as I keep using my body parts, I'm going to be alive. And you people are stopping me. You want me to die?
I agree with her.
And then what happened was that for some reason, we had to get rid of that house. And then, you know, she went to live with my Chacha ji. And obviously her daughter-in-law would not allow her to do anything in the house. And you won't believe it, in 3 months she died. Within 3 months. And I can promise you, if she had stayed on in that house, you know, because she was the boss over there.
Okay.
So what was going on keeping her alive was that she was participating, engaged, right? She completely, you know, made sure that our servant got his BCom. She made sure that he got his job, right? Why? Because she was fulfilling a vision of my grandfather. Because my grandfather said कि इस बच्चे को पढ़ाना है.
Okay.
There was a purpose, right? So I request you all, look into it for yourself and see. Yes, we have 2 participants raising their hands. Who are they? Let me see. Yes, one is Kasha, one is Kunen. And after Kunen finishes his sharing, then he will share his shairi also. Tang, tang. Okay. Kasa, go ahead.
No, sir. In terms with the desires, I wanted to share. Sorry, you know, I got immersed in the conversation and I forgot it. So sorry. Maybe tomorrow.
Now you can share it now if you want to share it. Say it, no?
No, sir. I you know, I wanted to share now that I'm totally, you know,
forgot now what I want to share.
And Hasina ji, you're still young. You can, the whole world is yours. You can travel everywhere.
I like to hear that.
Yeah, so you are traveling to Dubai right now, are you not?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, good. Congratulations. How about going to Greece next?
From Greece, you can come to UK as well.
I think I will go to Ireland because my granddaughter is going to be working from there.
Wow, how wonderful is that?
Where in Ireland, Hasina ji?
No, I wouldn't know exactly.
Okay, okay.
All right. So good. Rama and then Kunen, and then we close.
Sir, Buddha said desire is the root cause of suffering.
Yeah.
But
attachment to desire. This a lot of things we have misunderstood, no?
Yes, correct.
Like
but he had the desire to share with the people that how to overcome all these challenges in life.
Yeah. How to ease the suffering of humanity.
Right. So desire itself is not the suffering. It's
attachment to desire.
Attachment to desire, and also like Hiral said, unconscious desire. So if we can really look at the desire, understand, and then fulfill, there is no issue at all. So for me, more and more, emotions and desire, there is a parallel to me. Emotions are always suppressed or repressed and difficult to express. So similarly, desires are like that. It is suppressed, repressed, And that is because of not getting clarity on what is desire, how do we take care of it, how do we handle that. So invariably with some kind of wrong desire or unconscious desire or somebody else's desire you start without understanding and start implementing, you might have got hurt, and hence we stop the desire. So getting in detail about what is desire, how to handle it, similar to emotions, what are the emotions, how do we express them, how do we handle them, it will give us a great life. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Kasha, now you can bring it, you can share tomorrow, because we are continuing on this topic tomorrow also.
I'll just keep, I'll finish it in a minute, sir. See, a lot of things we say, I didn't fulfill my desire because, but if we stop that because and choose the me cause, and sir, a lot of things will change dynamically, sir. If we think logically, it is next to impossible. But if we start acting upon, it is just magic. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you very much. Yes, Kunen, your sharing and then your shairi.
Thank you, sir. I think I'll wait for another sessions to have more clarity on desires. So thank you, sir. It's good.
शायरी हो जाए फिर.
शायरी अर्ज किया जनाब के खुद को इतना भी मत बचाया कर, खुद को इतना भी मत बचाया कर, बारिश हो तो भीग जाया कर. और अर्ज किया है कि चांद लाकर कोई नहीं देगा, अपने चेहरे से जगमगाया कर.
One more time.
खुद को इतना भी मत बचाया कर, बारिश हो तो भीग जाया कर.
हाय.
चांद लाकर कोई नहीं देगा, अपने चेहरे से जगमगाया कर.
Wow, what a beautiful. Allow yourself to get wet in the rain. Nobody will bring the moonlight to you. Let your face shine like the moon.
Like moon.
Wow. What a wonderful way to end our session. Thank you, Kunen. Thank you for these wonderful gems that you share with us every morning. I don't know how to. Sometimes I feel कि मैं तो आता ही हूँ आपकी शायरी सुनने के लिए. All right. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. And be in your head, about this desires. Let's talk some more tomorrow.
Right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Great day.
God
Thank
bless
you.
everyone.
Acha, one thing before I leave, my request is that please join on time. So people who come and join at 7:55, what are they going to get out of this? They can only get to see our faces, that's all, and listen to Kunen Shairi. So if you come on time, you benefit and you contribute also much more. All right. Thank you very much. Bye.